Today is 15th of July, and at my workplace today we'll be going for an excursion. We are going to Osu Castle and Parliament House, so I intend to vlog that for you guys to see some nice places that we have in Accra. So today is going to be chaotic because I'll be vlogging for my school as well. I'm the official videographer of our school, so yeah. Hi, I'm at Osu Castle. The environment is very serene.
The name is the Christiansborg, Fort Christiansborg. It was built by Denmark, the Danish, in 1661. Can you hear me? Yes. Good. So, before the construction of this castle, the Portuguese were the first Europeans who came to West Africa in 1471. They actually settled in the central part, which is Elmina, saw that the region was immense with gold, and so decided to trade with the people. And so they built the first and the largest castle that gave rise to the name the Gold Coast in 1482. The Portuguese were here in West Africa purposely to spread the gospel. But in 1550s, to be able to reach a wider space, they decided to extend their trade route to this community. The name of this community is Osu. The people here are the local Ga people. And so when the Portuguese got in here, they built mud houses like Effin Lodge and started trading with the local people. The Portuguese came with the European textile, the European beads, and then firearms. The local people here had gold, they had ivory, they had agricultural produce. And so when the Portuguese got in here, it was an exchange of trade. So the locals will bring their goods in exchange for the European textile, the beads, and the firearms. So that was the trade between the Portuguese and the locals until the middle of the 17th century. We had other European powers come to challenge the Portuguese monopoly. And so in 1652, we had the Swiss. They came and then expelled the Portuguese. When I say expelled, they came to sack the Portuguese and took over the trade. But their control was very brief. In 1659, Denmark also expelled the Swedes and then took over the trade. But the Danish, which is Denmark, when they got in there, they met with the paramount king in the community, negotiated with him, and then purchased the side of the land for 3,200 gold florins. So while they were trading with the local people, they were building a fort. They built a fort with rocks, with seashells, timber, and then limestone. So they built the fort, called it Fort Christiansborg. They named it after one of their kings, whose name was King Christian. And they built here purposely for trade. And actually they built it for three particular things. One, for accommodation, two, for market, and then three, for storage. Because they came as traders, they needed a place to sleep, a place to keep the goods, and then a place to market their goods. And so they built here purposely for trade. So the Danish came with iron rods, they came with whiskey, wine, tobacco, they came with a lot of things. And these people at that time, they had gold, ivory, and then spices. So when they got in here, there was a language barrier. The Danish couldn't understand the Ga language, the Gans didn't understand the Danish language. And so they adopted the barter trade. So there's a place in there, which is a yard. Formerly before the slave trade, it was a market area. So that was where they displayed their goods. The local people will enter, also go, do a barter trade, they send their goods, and then take any of the goods that they need to get. And that was a trade between these two people. Until the late 17th century, there was a global demand for enslaved labor in the Americas, known as St. Paul, St. Thomas, and then St. John. They needed people, they needed laborers to come and work on their sugarcane plantations. That was when Denmark shifted from the traditional trade, and that led to the transatlantic slave trade here in the Osu Castle. So back then, after they built it for a market square, later the yard became a courtyard where they displayed the slaves. So here became a slave trade post. And so when the Danish started bringing in the slaves, we were getting slaves from Togo, Benin, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Mali, Ghana, and most from the West African countries. And so most of them will walk all the way from their end and then match them here. We're getting some from Ghana also. Back then, we didn't have Ghana, we didn't have Togo, we didn't have all of them. They capture the strong ones through the middlemen and then bring them here as slaves. Here, the Osu Castle became the seat of government for the Republic of Ghana. And so here became the government house, right from Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah down to Professor Evans Fifi Atta Mills. This is where they all operated from. Until the demise of Professor Evans Fifi Atta Mills in 2014. Actually, our president, Professor Mills, died in 2012, but later on in 2014, the seat of government was relocated away from here to the Jubilee House. And then in 2017, UNESCO Ghana found this place as a heritage site and declared it a museum for beautiful people like us to come and then learn some of the things that happened in the past. So currently here we have 12 dungeons. We'll visit 2, like I mentioned. We'll visit the chapel the Portuguese built. We'll also visit Queen Elizabeth was here when the British were in here. She slept here. We'll visit her room. We'll see other structures too. We'll talk about it. We'll go to one of our long-serving president's office to see where he was operating from. And then we'll end the tour at the door of no return.
So this is the dungeon. I learned this is the male dungeon, and there's a female dungeon as well, where the slaves were kept in. So we are going to explore all this place. This place is beautiful. Let's go and see how the dungeon looks like inside the prison.
Men here, and then 60 men in the inner chamber, making 120 men. Because of your number here, we can't visit the female dungeon. Because the female dungeon is very small, and most of you, when you enter, will not be able to because of that. So, they also look. Where are the other teachers? Are they coming? The number is 2 maybe. Yes. There is another one here. And this is the female dungeon. When they come, some of them won't be able to do it. So over here we have 2 dungeons here. Over here we have 30 female, 30 female. 60. Yes. They were also being fed like the men from the top. I mentioned the Portuguese were here. They built a chapel right on top. So they sealed it. So later they were bringing food to their cell. The window you see here is the only window that gives them fresh air, both chambers. Yes. And this is where they sleep. Unfortunately, inside is that Papa. So they sleep, eat, drink, defecate, urinate, menstruate right here. The slave masters will come, select some of the beautiful women, rape them, bring them back. So let them when you finish, follow me.
You see this staircase? It's on our 50 Ghana currency. I'll show it to you.
It's the second largest ocean in the world. This is where transportation of the slave trade started. Time are using here as their center, and so part of the building, including the top, has been given to them, and so we cannot access the washroom now. This same room hosted Prince Charles, now King Charles. I mentioned when the British moved in.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yes, please. The people coming.
This is the lamp they imported from Britain for Queen Elizabeth, and this is her bed and her wardrobe.
Our leaders should stand up.
Why are they looking for me? That's the videographer of the day. I'm here vlogging for myself, guys. I have to vlog for my YouTubers, so if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. I'm doing this for you guys, so I'm risking my job for you. Wow.
Here purposely for security. Can we all see the windows around?
Yes.
We make good use of it. When he's seated here, he can monitor who goes out. He can see.
This is the door we are talking about.
Today is meet day. Oh, hurry up.
Don't forget, you give me 5 cents.
Daddy, I give you. Daddy, sorry. I've betrayed you. Let me get a show from Auntie.
Okay. Please don't go anywhere without your ticket. Please.
Where is Auntie Shakira? Got snacks for the road. Tomiso. Thank you. Now at the Parliament House, you're going to take a tour and see how decisions are being made for our country. Our phones, we were not allowed to take our phones inside, so I'm sorry. So I'm sorry I couldn't get any vlog inside the Parliament, but I have vlogs of the Osu Castle. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. Bye. See you in my next vlog.